Oh yeah, governments are now buying tents, but it's not an old thing. It's been happening for years now. Now, governments are buying up tents and laundering money. 44 grand a tent, we covered it. What is happening, folks? Thanks for joining, liking, subscribing, and being part of the channel. Don't forget to join us Saturday nights on Rumble for Mike in the Night and Odyssey for Mike in the Night and D-Live for Mike in the Night. And I think we're still on Twitch, unless we got kicked off, for Mike in the Night. So what is happening, folks? Well, let's take a little rewind here of a video we made for you guys 2 days ago, but it's resurfacing. It's not from 2 days ago. It's been happening for years now. Let's take a look at what's happening here, folks. Let me just adjust the volume here. Setting up new temporary tents for homelessness village that cost taxpayers $44,000 per tent. Temporary tents, 44 large per tent. Per tent. Money laundering. And that's what it is. And then we covered this before. Now pay attention. This is from April 17, 2018. April 17, 2018.
Emergency level.
Now One News has discovered the government has been buying tents to house the homeless. In the last year alone, 20 families have asked for help to buy a tent to live in. Work and Income says it agreed in an effort to support its clients' choices.
It's not.
Look at that. And that's the housing minister there. Where is this? In New Zealand, when we made this video. New Zealand using tents to house homelessness. Wake up, stop, Jacinta Ardern, wake up, stop selling out your country. So we were very vocal about this, and we knew where it was going. And I have to play this one. Aussies legit forking over $130 a week to rent tents in pitched inside apartments. Sorry, it's just the word salad is so weird. Watch this. Pitched inside apartments. Yeah, just take a few seconds to soak that in. So people, just take a few seconds to soak that in. People are pitching tents inside existing apartments. That's how bad it's been giving. Let's Live on a Balcony. That was a show that we did 4 years ago, and I just kind of wanted to bring that back up because now all this stuff is happening, and now it's starting to surface. But why is it all surfacing? Like, why are we getting a remnants of it again? It's never disappeared. The governments have been buying tents for working class families. If you're working class and you could prove you make more than 40 or 60,000 a year, the government will buy you a tent. But why is it now becoming surfacing? This has always been happening. So why? So let's take a look at this article from, is this from today? For 18 hours ago. So let's take a look at this. Pregnant couple forced to live in a tent in Darwin as Northern Territory rents continue to rise, pricing renters out of the market. So Northern Territory, where is that? Darwin area, right? So what's happening? So when the money laundering started to funnel in, when Australian what do you call it? Politicians were banking on foreign Chinese communist money coming onto their shores and allowing them to buy homes and leave them all empty, and bidding them up to a couple of $1 million and leaving the middle class Australians homeless, working class. Let's. I gotta fix this here. Working class Australian middle class homeless, right? So take a look at this. The decision. Let me go to article scan here. The decision to give up the search was not an easy one, but with the cost of hotels mounting, it quickly became the only choice. At just 26 years old, Maria Castillo has spent most of this year walking home from her job as a support worker, feeling exhausted. Now there it is right there, folks, for you to see. Support worker. A support worker is living in the tent. Hopefully, a bigger channel could take this and run with this news. A post-COVID channel, of course, someone that came and makes videos after the fact, not warning the people about the situation that's going to come, right? So there it is. She checks her phone for what seems like 1,000,000 times, but each time it's only to see that her and her partner have been knocked back yet another rental home. So only recently married and counting down the days until she gives birth to a baby boy. She never thought living in a tent in a campground on the outskirts of Darwin would be her everyday reality. Now, let me give you guys a little bit of landscape about Darwin. I don't know if it's changed, but from what I've known over the years in studying Australia and understanding the different parts and the regions, Darwin is kind of like the lower end of society. I'm not saying it in a bad way, but just a little lower end living, affordable living. Kind of like me in my small town. I left my big city and then moved to my small town. You know what I'm saying, guys? Like, it's like here where I live, it's like, it's not big city. So it's like a little bit more laid back, so to say. So nobody gets offended and flags the video. And give birth to baby boy. It's really, really hard, she said. Not good sleeping. You get back pains and headaches in the morning. It was pretty rough. So there is the site that she's sleeping in, a pregnant woman that's a support worker that actually makes an income, right? Now, we've been reporting now for years about how people with 1-2 college degrees are living in a tent and working 1 and 2 jobs. This is in America, though. This is in the United States. This was in 2017, 2018, already reporting that Americans that work full-time, 1-2 jobs, and have 2 degrees are living in a tent. Okay? Earlier this year, after returning from a holiday to see the family in Colombia, Miss Castillo and her partner Shay from Adelaide hadn't expected it be so difficult to find a new home to rent in Darwin. Yeah. But they soon found they were among dozens of people at the property inspections, and amid soaring rents have risen exponentially in the past few years. And we told you guys about inflation and money laundering, right? They were priced out of the market, even though both of them have full-time jobs. They both have full-time jobs, so he is not a bum. He's not a stay-at-home bum. So they both have full-time jobs. Holy crap. We thought we were going to find something really quick, but when we realized it wasn't like this, we were like, we can't afford the living. A hotel room for $160 a night, Miss Castillo said. So we just decided we got to go for camping and let's do it. My mom was pretty distressed. She was like, you cannot be living in a caravan park, and for first she didn't even know about the baby. So she's telling her family in Colombia, and I'm willing to bet 10 years of my life her family in Colombia has a house bought and paid for. They have no credit card debt. They have no debts in Colombia, but they have their life straightened out. Why? Bureaucracy, red tape, sanctions on Colombia, this and that. And it's all by Western countries, English-speaking countries, that are destroying these other nations. For months on, sitting on a park bench, Miss Castillo is still glued to her phone, awaiting what could be a life-changing message saying of her rental applications has been accepted. She and her partner have managed to find a tiny place to live in someone's backyard after posting about their situation on Facebook, but the arrangement is only temporary. So she's living in someone's backyard for now. In November and around the time their baby is due, this home will no longer be available, and their fears of being homeless again are mounting every day. We're still looking for a place because we want something low-term. We want to be in Darwin, she said. Yeah, and Darwin is not like you're living in Beverly Hills, people. Comment below and let people know. But there's no places really, and everything is far too expensive. It's just plain greed, and it goes for rental. So it's going into more government intervention. And we've been warning you, two people working full-time, so he's not a stay-at-home bum. This guy works, she's a social worker, and the guy seems like he's a local native Australian, so he's from Australia. So, yeah, this is pretty tight, and this is a hard pill to swallow, because, again, what happens is money laundering jumps in, creates artificial shortages, and then basically turns cities into empty shells and makes it harder for locals to compete. And here it is right here. We were covering this, so we are pre-COVID channel, folks, and proud. Major issues down under. China playing bully. CPP money laundering leaving Australian cities empty. We've been warning about this. Australian authoritarian survey. Okay, dirty money drying up. CPP speculators take the sidelines as Sydney housing auctions fall 5 years ago. Why did Sydney auctions fall 5 years ago? Because they were raising rates 5 years ago. They were raising rates to fix this problem. And what did they do? They pivoted and they lowered rates. Australian brokers. WTF housing crisis. You are financially assassinating your own countrymen 5 years ago. Australia's housing problem, what a poop show with diarrhea. Almost 9,000 Canberra children are living in poverty. Liar loans, Australia moving Australia's risk lending into uncharted waters. Renewal nightmares 5 years ago. What a effing stupid move. The customer's worse off. What the hell are they putting this junk on the books for? Again, RBA fraudsters, Australian housing blame game, middle class massively over leveraged using equity. CPP investors forcing Irish middle class. Oh, we're going to Ireland now. Into homelessness. Ireland housing depression 5 years ago. So we've been on this for years now. There's a lot of post-COVID and these Rumble heroes that are coming out. And somebody just put a video not long ago. Australian housing may be inflated by Chinese money laundering. Oh my God, and you got 3 million views and you just made the video. Why aren't people making videos warning people about things? Why? From before. Why? Because I got shit on. I got shit on every time I make these videos. Now it happens and I still get shit on. So that's just how it works. Maybe I should just not say nothing, wait for the event to happen, sensationalize the headline, and make the... And then after, get the applause and get the revenue and get everything to keep this transmission going. But anyways, Mike Martin's here signing off, living in a tent, 2 fully employed workers with a baby coming, forced into homelessness. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Look forward to reading your comments. Mike Martin's here. I'll see you guys Saturday on Mike of the Night on Rumble and Odyssey and DLive and Twitch if it's still on Twitch. I have spoken.